That's right, you read the title, and today we're going to be talking about Bloodborne. Now, this game came out back in 2015, and I finally got a chance to play it, and I just beat it. And what did I think of Bloodborne? Well, overall, the game itself is a very fun, challenging, and at times annoying game. Now, this game is made by From Software, who everyone knows for the Demon Souls, Dark Souls series, and Bloodborne is kind of a joint cooperation between From Software and Sony to create this PlayStation 4 exclusive that is right down, at least I assume, the vein of Dark Souls. I've never played a Dark Souls game, but I've heard that this is basically a Souls game. And, you know, a lot of the boss battles, a lot of just the battles in general, they take a lot of getting used to, a lot of challenge, a lot of interesting dynamics to this game. And but with that being said, the game itself, as I mentioned, is a very good game, but it's challenging. The game itself, to me, felt like it would be a hack and slash game. However, a lot of elements in this game, in order to attack, you have to play like you're playing Metal Gear Solid. You got to play very stealthy. To attack, basically, a lot of the bosses, the stick and move thing, you can't really just go in there and chop them down the sides. You got to hit, back off, because they're going to attack, and they're going to attack hard. Now, the leveling system is very interesting in this game because, unlike a traditional RPG, you don't really get experience points. You get these things called Echo Blood. Now, Echo Blood's basically the currency in the game, but you use it to upgrade your character, upgrade your weapons, and buy items. So you really have to spend it wisely, but at the same time, it's always there. Just by beating enemies, you get a ton of it throughout the game. And the leveling up system is very interesting as well because overall, the game doesn't hold your hand. And with that being said, the leveling up, every stat you level up always levels up your defense, which is awesome. However, you need to know what you're basically looking to level up based on how you're going to play the game. Now, the one benefit of this game is that there is basically online co-op. Now, the way that works is if you choose to play online, you connect to the server, and throughout the game, you get items called Madman's Knowledge, which when you use them, it gives you insight. Now, you use that insight to use what's called the Beckoning Bell to summon players from other worlds to yours to help you out. But you can also summon adversaries who are basically out to get you the whole time. Now, what works for this is if you're having a difficult time with some of the boss battles like I did, you can summon these players. And a lot of times, at least I was lucky enough to get very experienced players that made the boss battles a lot more easier. They helped show me where certain items were, getting different items. And it made the game a lot more enjoyable. However, once your characters level up enough, the game itself doesn't really get as difficult because once you figure out the dynamics of the game, you kind of are able to play better as you go. Now, two boss fights I had a big issue with were the final boss and the second to last final boss, and I used a lot of insight just going in there with different players trying to beat these people. I was lucky enough in the final boss fight able to get two other players, and we were able to thankfully destroy the final boss in this game. And what's interesting about Bloodborne is there's not really a set story to this game. Like, there is, but it's not very narrative driven. I guess you're like a hunter is pretty much how it's proclaimed, and you have to go out and destroy all these creatures, these zombies, and it's just a really dark, horrific looking world. I mean, it takes place in what I want to say is like an alternative London in the 1800s. It has a very steampunk, dark, gothic look to it. And overall, though, the game is a recommended game. Now, this game isn't for someone that's looking for an easy game to play. I have a live stream that I did of this game, and you could just see me cursing up a storm, being so frustrated in like the same level. I couldn't even get like anywhere until I went back in today and figured out what was going on. And after that, a lot of it made sense. And the game does get more challenging as you go on, naturally. So it's important to level up your character. Now, the other thing that sucks is your blood echoes If you get killed, you lose all the blood echoes you had on you. However, you do get one shot to go to the location where you were killed to pick them up and basically regain them. But if you don't and you get killed again, they're gone. So it makes a lot more of a challenge to be able to figure out different ways so that you don't die, basically, is what I was getting at. Now, like, overall, do I recommend Bloodborne? If you're a fan of the Dark Souls games, I assume you love Bloodborne as it is. I've only heard great things about this game by the people who have played it. You know, it's a lot more difficult for me, I guess, not playing the Dark Souls or the Demon Souls game. And this was a game that, for the first time in a long time, I could say I sucked at. It took a lot of getting used to, a lot of stealthy movement. However, Bloodborne is a game that there's a lot of optional bosses, optional areas you can go to. And I've heard that it's like an 100-hour game. I've seen people put 500 hours into their one save file. Now, I'm not going that crazy with it. I did enjoy the game, as I mentioned. It's a challenging game, and if you guys are up and looking for a challenge, I would recommend Bloodborne. It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, so PS4 owners are the ones that are probably going to play this. Now, is this a console seller? Well, I know this game got numerous awards when it came out, and 3 years later, I'm finally playing it, and I do think that if you don't have a PS4, you could pick this one up just to play and see what all the hype is about. You know, the fact that you can summon the other players to help you definitely works out, and it definitely makes the game a lot more enjoyable, as I mentioned. I beat this game at a little over 22 hours on the save file. There is a new game plus mode, but, you know, I can see why this game would be good for people trying to speedrun. For the fact that if you know what you're doing and you know how to play, you can probably get through this game real quick. But if you don't, this game is going to take a long time for you. Guys, Bloodborne, you know, I really enjoyed the game. I liked the challenge. Didn't really like the frustration. However, is it worth the pickup? Yes, it is. That's my review, guys. If you've played Bloodborne, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other videos, guys. I just spent my whole day off beating this game. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. So check this one out, guys, if you haven't already. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time, see you, bye.